Well, thank you, Indraani, for joining us. Just wanted to start off by asking you to help us understand Literacy India and what it is and what you do there.
It's an organization where I feel that whatever my vision was when I started, to make it come true day by day and reach a particular level where India is nowhere right now. I started about 15 years ago with just 5 kids. And right now we have touched over 10 to 15,000 children, women, and youth. As I see, it's hardly any kind of a scale I have gone up per year if I see. But it has taught me, this whole organization has taught me something different about India, something which needs to be done urgently for India, something which has to be addressed by people like me or many people who are working in this field for India. So it is an organization which is trying to address many things at the same time: the literacy, education, empowerment, employment of all kinds of beneficiaries, be it youth, be it women, be it children, adolescent. But I feel that many of us are trying to do that. And I think mine is just a small little drop in the ocean, which I'm trying to do through Literacy India.
How did you become interested in this?
Well, as a kid, I think since my childhood, I could never see, like, I'm in a better off position and I see children on the street. I'm going to school and I find children on the street. I feel that there got to be something, someone got to do something about it. I said, why it is not being helped? And I'm clad properly, and there is nobody. I mean, I find people, they are not clad properly. They are sleeping on the streets. And I think it was there since my childhood. And it just happened that it got a little more when I was in Kolkata. I was posted there. I was there for a long time. I used to watch these nuns working so selflessly and, picking up this little child on the street and how they will take them. I visited the orphanage, and I felt that I need to come to a position where I am going to do something like this. I didn't know how. It was like a frustration. I had this restlessness in me, and I was thinking that when is that time going to come when I'm going to actually go do something about it? And you will really not believe it. I really didn't go places to ask somebody how to go about it. How does it happen? What are the regulations? What am I supposed to do? I learned ABCs right from the scratch to going places. And I felt shy asking anybody who's running an organization and take some lessons, because they would look at me. Because once a while I tried, they would look at me in a very cynical manner. You're a pilot. You're doing pretty well. You must be a nutcase or, looking at this sector. You're well off. There's got to be some internal hidden agenda for getting into this. So for small little things, I really had to work hard to find out details. And I learned a lot. There was so much of self-learning, I can't tell you. It was it was a fantastic journey.
So actually, what you just mentioned, so you don't have a sort of a usual background for anybody in India or anywhere across the world, for example. So can you tell us where you started off? Obviously, your dad was also a pilot. And can you tell us whether he had influence on you becoming a pilot as well? And how did he end up being?
No, my father is not a pilot.
Oh, he's not a pilot.
No,
okay,
my father-in-law is a pilot.
Okay.
No, my dad and my mom, I think they have, didn't realize it, but they have an important role to play because they both come from very humble background. My grandfather worked when the English rule was there, and I heard a lot of stories as to what happened in the villages. I heard a lot of stories. My father lost her dad, and how a single mother struggled her way up and bringing up her daughter. So all those stories actually had a deep impact on me. I think I was making base through my parents and my grandparents. So this background actually has helped me and made me think about, if somebody is in that situation, what will that person think and try survive? What will the person do? So when I reached the level where I was so comfortable, staying in a 5-star hotel, going places, whatever I wanted with my money, I could do. I could relate to somebody who didn't have. I had seen both the sides, and it made my life much easier when running an organization, stepwise growing. So made me streetwise smart for getting into a situation and how to get out of it and how to resolve it. And it's a learning for me whenever I meet people from any kind of background, be it industry, be it education. I'm forever curious to find out where India is heading. Because if I know how we are getting developed, what all areas we are working on, it becomes easier for me to handle my beneficiaries, give them that kind of a channel and that kind of a path, that these are the areas they can, grow. Because Literacy India is working on 3 E's. And that 3 E's also took me by working on first E and the second E and the third E. The first E was the empowerment part. Go on motivating, go on telling them over and over again that you guys can do it, you guys can do it. And the second E was the education, that it is important for you. You can't do without it. And the third E, that after getting educated, employment is so very important. Because I've seen there are graduates, no jobs. There are school pass-outs, no jobs. So what were the answers? And there I had, sleepless nights trying to find out the answers. Go and read the Mint papers and pilots reading a business standard or any kind of this kind of a paper. It doesn't interest. They will read about the aircrafts, what the engines do, and blah, 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 and how many aircrafts are coming in, what are the new aircrafts. My interest diversed when I stepped into this world, and it's intriguing day by day as to what all areas India is diversifying to. And it makes my vision more and more clear that what am I going to be, what's my goal for the next 10 years.
Good, that's good. You mentioned a step-by-step process for your organization. Could you walk us through what the process was? How did you go about setting this up?
Very simple. See, I started with 5 children, okay? We adopted these 5 kids, and I had other co-founders also. We discussed. And they said, okay, good school, they must go to good school. So the background is parents are completely illiterate. So we put them in good school. What is the definition of a good school? That I learned over a period of time, that whether the school is teaching well. So they go to the school. When they come back, who's going to help them do the homework? No answer. So we go to find a teacher who would tutor them after school hours, help them with the homework, and that's how the process started. So what next? They go to the school. They are not treated well because they are poor class and mingling with the regular kids who are privileged class. What next? So no, this is not going to end here. We must do something about confidence building, that you're good. If your grades are good and if you are groomed well, nobody can make out that you're not from that class. So that journey began with 5 children. Then I realized that five. When I'm working, I might as well increase the number. So the number went up to 50, and then 100, and then 150, and then, that multiplied. Now, in this journey, I realized that what is the quality of education we are having? What is that next step, these kids, when they are passed out, and what kind of a question they're going to be asking me? So I should be ready with their higher studies, and then further higher studies, or their what are they going to be getting into? What kind of an employment? What is their, what I will be thinking about my son, I should be thinking about these kids. And till date, even now, all the planning is going on. I have a school. I have few schools, in fact. The principals and the teachers are counseled, and they are told that you should be doing this homework. who are the averages, who have very little interest in the school. They just want to quickly finish their schooling. And who are the ones who are, you think, they are studious type. Map those ones. Keep them aside. Now, also when you map them, who have a scientific bent of mind. So you can have doctors or you can have engineers, and who don't. So the science and the non-science stream, they diversify. These are the things which I found none of the non-profit organizations were doing. They were just regularly doing the education bit. You know, if the chap is ready, will find his or her way in the regular life. But it doesn't happen. I found that if we do these experiment, then it becomes a model for us to copy it to and give it to any other non-profit organizations and tell them, hey, this is what you can do. And believe it or not, after 15 years, I am giving away whatever I learned in this process to others. You know, you can do this, you can do that. Many new people, when they are, many new players who are coming into this field, they are looking for some sort of a mantra, mula, about what you can, tell us. Please tell us. So I share it all. I said, this is how I learned. And I think these are the things, if you do, it'll be good for you. It'll be successful. And sure shot, it is.
So you've gone from 5 to, you said 10,000?
10 to, no, I think 15,000.
15,000 students. So that's a huge scale up, or whichever way you look at it. So how do you manage that scaling process, and how do you ensure you don't fail?
There was a very good question back there. Somebody from America India Foundation came up with it, that most of the non-profit organizations are running by individual, a strong leader. And I consider that, okay, I am the leader. And I have about 174 staff now. I started with 2 staff, 2 teachers. Now I have so many teachers, supervisors, and your coordinators, project coordinators, because we have 6, 7 projects going on simultaneously. And a head above that who reports to the trustees. So yes, it is leadership driven. So I was telling the Whartonians, I said, hey, I'm here. I was trying to wonder that it's a house full. So many, young faces I see here. Why are you here? And I was asking myself, why am I here? So the answer came that I'm looking for a leader. So any of you who would be interested in taking my position, do contact me. So I am also actually searching for a successor who will eventually, next 10, 15 years, groom the young person. When I started, I was quite young. And down the road, I am also looking for a successor. I don't want this thing to die. And you require a strong leader, because vision is very important in this field. And if you have a vision, then you will go on strategizing, come up with the new methods, innovation, and it's an ongoing thing. It can never stop at one place. Every year there got to be something new.
Let's switch gears for a second and talk about flying. So what's your experience like? I mean, you being the first person, being the first woman to fly.
I'm actually, I'll make it a little technically correct. I started on the Boeing 737s, then came on the 320s. When the 320s came in, that time it was a fly-by-wire technology and something new in the world. It was introduced. So I was the first Indian woman that time to go for my training there, and I was asked questions. How can India, being in Parda, how is that you're here? I said, no, people are changing, things are changing. So that time it was the first time for the 320s, the fly-by-wire aircraft. But actual recognition came on the wide-bodied. When I started flying, I was given an option whether I want to go back on the Boeings or the 320s or remain on the 300s and fly in command. I said I'd like to fly in command. I had no idea whether I'll be getting into a history book. I said I'd like to fly in command. So it was kind of a shell-shocking for many, my seniors, for a very simple reason that no woman had been there on that seat, in the left seat. So I didn't realize it. It was for me, it was a regular thing. I had to go for my command. till the day I got my command, the day I started doing my solo, that's the time I realized that it was actually why people are worried about it, because a woman going on the left seat, never before. And it's a huge aircraft, you see. And it has an impact. It has some sort of an impact on you when you look outside and, God, there can't be a woman over there. And the kind of system we live, the tradition which we have in our country, women pilots, it's a big thing. So 1996, it was back then. And that's when, the day I got my command, and 95 Literacy India had started. I think they were all moving on parallelly in my mind. So
you actually have a wonderful story to tell, so I want to thank, on behalf of Knowledge Wharton, want to thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you so much. Right.